Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to my Mars series. So in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the Virgo leadership as I describe the Mars in Virgo leader. Now before we do get started, if you would like to know more information all about the Mars houses, the Mars signs, the Aries houses, the first house, the Aries archetype overall within astrology, then I have created an Aries season / archetype ebook. So if you want to pick up a copy of that ebook, then I'm going to put a download to that ebook in the description box so you can pick up your copy today. So with all of those introductions out of the way, Mars in Virgo. Let's do this. Now what I want you to imagine is that the Mars signs are all having a race against one another. Now the Mars in Virgo, what they may do is step one, they may decide to call the organizer of that event to ask that person a few simple questions. So for example, they might ask about the time, they might ask about the dress code, they might ask about different water stands, so will there be water there? Basically, the Mars in Virgo is going to want to know all of the information that they need before they make a decision, before they decide, should I take part in this race or not? And by them performing step one, they will then decide, okay, well, either A, okay, don't need to take this any further until I need to, until maybe another opportunity comes along that I decide, yeah, okay, I'll do it. Or it could be B, which leads on to step two. You see kind of how this is all going? Yeah, this is Virgo energy. It's very, okay, this is the step, this is the next step, this is A, point B, point C, okay, this is number one, this is two, this is three, just organizing all of these sections here. So if the Mars in Virgo then does decide, right, yes, I am going to compete in this race, let's take this on to step two, they will then start going through their own sort of analysis for themselves. So for example, they're going to want to put a plan in place in order to prepare for that race. For example, they might really think about their health, so how they can get in shape for that day. They may think about other situations, other meetings, other things that they gotta attend to that could clash with the time, with the date. Will they have anything else that comes after that? Will I make it home in time in order to watch Grey's Anatomy or The Big Bang Theory? The Mars in Virgo leader is going to want to know how it fits in with all the other things that they are attending to, whilst also making sure that their health does not take a hit. However, whilst the Mars in Virgo may go back and forth as they really want to decide upon their next course of action, what they actually might end up doing is they might end up procrastinating a little bit. And if the Mars in Virgo does start procrastinating, then they also might start worrying. Next thing you know, the Mars in Virgo has 3 meetings that they're late for. They have 2 essays that they're currently working on, whilst they sit in front of their computer just going, why can I not get this finished? Why can I not move forward with this? This is because the Mars in Virgo leader can be that type of person who may think over and over, oh, I gotta do this now, and I gotta take action on this now, and there's another thing that I can perfect, there's another thing that I can add, there's another thing that I can improve on this. Because they want that very project that they're working on, or that very thing that they're attending to, they want it to be polished and clean. They want that very thing to be somewhat spotless, like crystal clear, spotless in their eyes. But whilst they're trying so hard to aim for that, other things may be left unattended, and then other things in their lives start to build up. So really, it's about the Mars and Virgo leader learning how to prioritize their time more effectively. But it's this very same attitude that results in the Mars in Virgo then wanting to make certain calls to certain people to find out the information that they need before attending or before doing something or before moving forward. Because they want to make sure that they have all of their ducks in a row before they take action. Because it's this whole, well, if I line it all up the way it's supposed to be lined up and specific and in its order, then whenever I, as the Mars in Virgo, go to take action, then I'll know that when I take action, it'll be done correctly. But the moment that there is something wrong or there's an error in the Mars in Virgo's mind, well, the Mars in Virgo may just go over and over and over that error and poke into that error and want to fix that error because they just can't move past that error. But don't get it mistaken here, guys, because the Mars in Virgo can also make a great leader. So if it is that they go to join a particular company or firm, well, the Mars in Virgo is going to be able to gather up all of the information that they need and then be able to analyze that information. So they're going to be able to maybe analyze all of the functions of the objects and things within that firm. They're going to be able to analyze the behaviors of the people that work within that firm. Seriously, the Mars in Virgo leader can be great when it comes to conducting surveys or when it comes to reviews, when it comes to interviews as well. And in this way, the Mars in Virgo can be great at human resources. So being that person who is a recruiter, for example, the Mars in Virgo may really excel at something like that. By them being able to pay attention to certain patterns in people or patterns within the company or firm, they're able to then draw up certain findings and research and studies that they can perform in order to help that company grow or improve on the company. Because the thing about Virgo energy is that that's the whole saying of practice makes perfect. Okay, so it's this preparing of the vessel with Virgo energy. So with Mars in Virgo, it's this continuously wanting to be active about preparing the vessel and improving and always having room for improvement. And this I find to be quite interesting because Will Smith, he has his Mars in Virgo. Now he also has Pluto and Jupiter in Virgo as well, and Uranus too, I believe. But he went on to state that what he has is a ridiculous, insane obsessiveness for practice and preparation. Now, the last two words here really stood out to me with practice and preparation because I feel like that screams Virgo, so it's this practicing your craft, learning your craft, continuously learning your craft and working on that, improving on it. Well, if they go to work within a particular company or firm, they're going to be very good at being able to analyze, like, okay, so this is where things are improving this week. This is where things are not improving this week. Okay, this area needs to be looked at. This area is doing good. We're keeping it pretty stable for now. We'll look at it in a couple days. Basically, the Mars in Virgo is going to be able to do a lot of calculations in their own minds due to the patterns and observations and that different analysis that they perform. But it's from them gathering up all of that data that they can then put in practical, useful steps in place for that company or firm. This very same overthinking and worrying can also be used as a way to help them keep practicing, just to keep practicing. Because if it maybe is that, the Mars in Virgo is worrying about this paragraph that they wrote that, I've made the same mistake 3 times now. The Mars in Virgo can also use it to their benefit because they can then decide for themselves, right, next time moving forward, I'm consciously going to make sure that I take action on that thing, and instead of putting that word in to create that error, next time I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, it's also important for the Mars in Virgo to learn to step away. To step away from certain things that just don't need to be forced anymore or pushed anymore, because they just want to get right in there and fix it. And when it comes to them actually giving direction to other people, they're going to be very specific about what it is that they want as well, very particular about what they want, very clear. They're not really going to be the types of leaders who want to be, you know, up in, you know, the open and the front line and things like that. They're going to be the types of leaders who would much rather prefer to work behind the scenes. It's just really about the little things for the Mars in Virgo. And so if it is that a partner, for example, does something really small for the Mars in Virgo, they may really notice that, right? And they may even look at it as, oh, this is a big deal to me. This is a small thing to this person, but it's huge to me. Oh my gosh. Whereas others may be looking at it and just thinking, or maybe they didn't even see anything at all. It's just the Mars in Virgo did. So naturally, if we were to bring this into a sexual relationship, okay, because Mars is about sex drive, well, the Mars in Virgo sexual partner is going to know exactly how you like it and be able to pleasure you the way that you like it, much more specifically. But you just gotta show them. Just show them. Show them how you like it, and they will be able to, they'll get it pretty dead on for you. But I do want to emphasize the importance of the Mars in Virgo leader taking time to unwind and relax, okay? From time to time. So some ways that the Mars in Virgo can unwind nicely could be through the likes of drinking herbal tea, or eating their favorite snack. Performing some exercises may be really good for them, or having a lovely massage, or you washing their hair, or just brushing their hair, just taking time to do little TLC things, even their skin routine, stuff like that, washing their face. Soothing music may be really good as well, or doing some light yoga, or going for just a nice walk, you know, nice walk in nature as well, to help them unwind and relax and to get out of their heads. Now, a great example of someone who has their Mars in Virgo is actually Ariana Grande. Now, she is a Cancerian, and I read in an article on Mariah Carey that this was basically taken in 2017, I believe. It stated that given the events of the past couple of years, Ariana is going to take some much needed time to heal and mend. And I think that this is a great example because the Mars in Virgo does have a tendency of just overworking themselves. Now, an example of someone who has their Mars in Virgo is actually Britney Spears. And keeping in mind that Britney Spears, she had a breakdown in 2007 where she shaved her head and she did the whole, you know, the umbrella thing of attacking the paparazzi, and so she was placed into a psychiatric hold. And she actually has Mars in Virgo in the 12th house. So this being placed into a psychiatric unit or into a hospital or an asylum of some sort, well, this is a very 12th house matter. But it's that the Virgo energy, right? That Virgo energy simply lost control because Britney Spears was just so sick of feeling like she was being controlled by others. She was almost having to live up to other people's expectations. And so it might have been a case of she was just giving so much more of her energy and giving and giving and giving, and then it just got to a point where she just broke. She could not do it anymore. It's just the Virgo energy that really shows us the importance of attending to our health and to our overall well-being. And so for Mars in Virgo, this is essential, especially if they are running around non-stop, right, where they're just doing so many things, they're attending to all of their duties, and they're trying to go through their to-do lists. On that note though, we actually noticed that the Mars in Virgo can excel when it comes to the likes of health and nutrition. So for example, they may be leaders when it comes to nursing, or they may be working in the hospital or working for a doctor's surgery. You might also find Mars and Virgo leaders when it comes to fitness, so within that field. And a good example of someone who has their Mars in Virgo is actually Sylvester Stallone. Another person who has their Mars in Virgo is actually Tim Sheaf. Now, Tim Sheaf, he is an athlete, and he competed on the show Ninja Warrior, and I believe he won. But yeah, he's in Aries and he also has his Mars in Virgo. But what's further interesting about this is that Tim Schaaf, he was vegan for a few years, and I think that that's another thing when it comes to Virgo energy, is that they may be prone to trying out certain diets and health regimes. But if there is one thing that the Mars in Virgo leader is, that is efficient. Okay? Efficiency just might be their specialty. And by the Mars in Virgo remaining efficient, being efficient, if they decide that they want to lead within a particular company or firm, then they are going to excel when it comes to the profits. So the profits just might go up, customer satisfaction will just go up, the quality of their services will increase, the quality of other people's services will increase as well. They are going to be great when it comes to organizing the paperwork, they're going to be very quick when it comes to learning the new systems, and they're going to be able to ask really good questions. Now the Mars and Virgo leader, they may also be very giving. So we have the likes of Mother Teresa, who was a Virgo, and then we also have Princess Diana of Wales, and she was a Cancerian. Now I have heard certain stories over Mother Teresa, so I don't know about if it's really valid with her situation, but still, the common knowledge that I know of it, the common understanding, is that she was a very giving person, and so was Princess Diana. So yeah, you just might see the Mars in Virgo leader giving from either their own pockets or giving from their own time. Now there's someone that I really want to mention who had their Mars in Virgo, and that was Friedrich Nietzsche. Now Friedrich Nietzsche, he was a German philosopher and a critic of culture. And apparently he served as a medical volunteer within the 1870s after the outbreak of the French-German War. And from 1879 until 1889, he also lived in boarding houses throughout Switzerland, the French Riviera, and in Italy, where he had limited human contact. He basically went into a period of isolation and creativity where he was highly productive. This is a representation, in my opinion, of the hermit mode for Virgo energy. So the Mars in Virgo may be really good at just being okay on their own for long periods of time, just to be productive, just to work on their craft. And he actually had a Virgo midheaven with his Mars and Venus in the sign of Virgo. But speaking of critic of culture, right? We also notice that the Mars and Virgo leaders may actually excel when it comes to critiquing. For example, we have the likes of Gordon Ramsay. Yes, critiquing much. He has his moon in Virgo, but he also has his Pluto and Uranus in Virgo, and then he has all of that 6th house Scorpio stuff going on. So yeah, you can notice how his approach to that is just very strong. It can also be when it comes to books or when it comes to literature. So the Mars and Virgo leaders may be great when it comes to just critiquing the materials that they're reading or learning. Something I actually found out about Gwyneth Paltrow as well. She is a food writer, and apparently she is the CEO of a lifestyle company called Goop, so G-O-O-P, and she has created cookbooks. I did not know that until today, and I just thought it was very Mars and Virgo mixed with her moon in Gemini and her Venus in the 6th house. So you just might find that Mars in Virgo being very good when it comes to producing how-to guides or providing practical advice for others to follow along. Overall, the Mars in Virgo leader is going to achieve great results due to their preparation and their practice. And they're going to be intelligent, hardworking, and humble leaders. And whilst yes, the Mars in Virgo leader may worry a little bit, well, we still notice that there is great strength found within this particular type of leadership, because they're going to be devoted to the craft, but at the same time, they're also going to be selective and flexible. Because hey, the philosophy of life for the Mars in Virgo is there's always room for improvement. Okay, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes the Virgo leadership as we described the Mars in Virgo leader. Thank you so much for watching, thank you for subscribing, and of course if you would like to see more videos from myself and you have not yet subscribed, then go right ahead and click that subscribe button, and I will be back with the Mars in Libra video very, very soon. Bye!